Where did my passion for Degrassi come from? I'm so happy you asked. This is such a fun question, and I can't wait to tell you my story. As a young Canadian, I grew up with Degrassi everywhere. We watched it in schools, my older cousin watched it, I would watch it at sleepovers with my friends, but really the thing that turned me from a casual viewer of Degrassi to a super fan was the character Fiona Coyne. Fiona was introduced in season 9 of Degrassi, and that is when I started to watch the show as it was coming out on TV. I had bought the box sets, I had binge watched it before, but really when I sat down in front of my TV for the first time and watched a brand new episode of Degrassi, it was actually the Degrassi Goes Hollywood movie, and then I started watching season 9 week to week as it came out. And one of the newest additions to season 9 was Fiona Coyne, and I connected so deeply to her character right away. One of the first things that we learn about Fiona is that she's pretending to have a boyfriend back home from where she came from, so the boys at Degrassi will leave her alone. She also immediately gets into a relationship with Riley and tells him, if I didn't think you were gay, we wouldn't be doing this. And then throughout the rest of the time on the show, she pretty much just becomes obsessed with Holly J and can't explain why she just needs to be around her all the time. She even moves to a different country to be with her. When I was growing up and watching Fiona in these situations, I literally felt like I was going to high school and living out my life, and then coming home and watching Fiona play it back for me on TV. And I had no idea that the whole time that I was relating to Fiona as a character was because we were both lesbians that were in the closet. So near the end of season 10, when the episode Chasing Pavements Part 2 aired on TV, and Fiona says the iconic line, "I'm in love with her and she's a girl," everything just clicked into place for me. I grew up in Prince Edward Island, Canada, and this was during the early 2010s, and there wasn't anyone around me telling me that being gay wasn't okay, but there wasn't anybody telling me that it was. To the point that I was like 17 years old and I didn't even know what being a lesbian meant. The only context that I had is that Ellen DeGeneres was a lesbian, but that didn't really mean anything to me. And I knew about the TV show The L Word, which I was too young to be watching, and really all I knew about it was that if you were a lesbian, you lived in Los Angeles and shared an apartment with other girls. But what did it mean to be a lesbian at 17 years old in Charlottetown, Prince Edward Island in Canada? Fiona Coyne taught me that. That moment quite literally changed my life. It made me solidified as a Degrassi superfan forever. I actually have the quote tattooed on my arms. You can see the "I'm in love with her" and "she's a girl." It also fostered my connection with Annie Clark, who I got really close to. And just feeling so seen by this show is what made me love it so much. And then I did research and I learned about Linda Schuyler and that she was a school teacher with a gay best friend. And her goal in life was to create stories that kids could see themselves in. And in particular, queer stories that they could see themselves in. So from that day forward, I was locked in. I'm going to be a Degrassi superfan for the rest of my life and advocate for the show and what it does for teenagers, just like it did for me.